Ready to go, Miles? Good? Okay. Welcome. I'd like to call this May 24th, 2021 council meeting in order. If you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Rose. Here. Shields. Here. Simpson.
Here.
Coyne.
Here.
Hazeltine.
Present.
Heffinger.
Here.
Lamb.
Here.
Reading of the minutes. Mr. Shields.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of May 10, 2021, as prepared and submitted by the clerk, be approved.
Second. Discussion on the approval of the minutes. Will the clerk please call the roll on the approval of the minutes?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coyne.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Reports of standing committees. The Finance Committee met prior to the council this evening and will again meet in 2 weeks. The Health, Safety, and Sanitation Committee, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had no meetings and no meetings scheduled at this time.
Thank you, Public Properties, Mr. Shields.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, no report this evening.
Thank you, Special Legislation, Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will have a meeting in June to go back to the demolition proposal. And secondly, I've had a number of really productive meetings with folks that are in some way related to or interested in or work with cats, and have made good progress, and want to thank all the people that have been willing to meet and have been helpful, so helpful really. And so I expect that we'll be bringing something to special legislation in June on that issue as well for us to consider.
Thank you. Streets and Sidewalks, Mr. Heffinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no meeting scheduled and no report at this time.
Water and Utilities, Mrs. Hazeltine.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled at this time and nothing to report.
And Emerging Technologies, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, but I do want to report that we are making progress with the budget software that we're developing here. We saw our first example, a few tweaks. Hopefully we'll be able to use it here in the next month or so. Thank you.
Thank you. Request for council action. We have several for finance. We have 21-101, budget amendment. 21-102, job creation grant payment to Carlisle Brake and Friction. 21-103, job creation grant payment to Discount Drug Mart. 21-104, job creation grant for Sandridge Food Corporation. 21-105, agreement with York Township for snow and ice services for the 2021-2022 season. 21-106, establish a new fund number 157 for the pretrial drug testing fund for the Muni Court. 21-107, expenditure to Root Integrated Systems Police Department. 21-108, fiscal year 21 CDBG grant allocation grant. 21-109, authorized contract with Branstetter Carroll and Conceptual Design Muni Court. 21-110, job creation grant payment for Progressive Medina. 21-111, amend salaries and benefits code 3105, tree care technician for the Parks Department. 21-112, RFPs for sponsorships at MCRC. 21-113, motion to approve MCRC sponsorship banner. And 21-114, agreement West Smith Road Phase 4 right-of-way acquisition services. Reports of municipal officers. Mayor Hamel.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the COVID-19, Medina County last week moved into, may have even been the week before, moved into level 2, which is orange. I'd like to thank the constituents for bearing with some of the restrictions and getting us out of the red level. Non-vaccinated constituents are still encouraged to wear masks and social distance. However, effective June 2nd, all of the current COVID-19 restrictions will be lifted by the Ohio Department of Health. Excuse me, Health. Exception would be, I just found this out this morning in a discussion with Krista from the Health Department, an exception would be the quarantine and isolation orders from the local health department, as those are covered already in an existing Ohio Revised Code provision and cover over 70 illnesses, not just COVID. So there may still be isolation orders and quarantines, but the other restrictions will go away. It's expected that our county may move to yellow with our reduced number of cases possibly as early as this Thursday, May 27th. And I'm happy to report that the vaccine percentages in our county, both for one-shot and total vaccines in the various age groups, are all surpassing the state levels. So we're seeing a great interest in Medina County. The Memorial Day service, Memorial Day this year, there will be no parade because they planned it before the COVID restrictions, and it's on May 31st, which is several days before all of them lifted. So there'll be no parade, and they moved what is usually the ceremony at St. Francis Cemetery to the square, so there's more room to social distance. So that's going to be Monday, May 31st at 11 a.m., Memorial Day service only, no parade. I'd like to offer our thoughts and prayers to the family of Richard Durham. He was a businessman, a council person, a bus driver, and a Marine, and the father of our finance director, Keith Durham. July 4th activities have changed a little bit. They will take place. Fireworks will be set off at dark on July 3rd at the high school complex. All COVID-19 restrictions will be lifted effective June 2nd, so the fireworks and the parade will not have any of those previously mentioned restrictions. The July 4th parade will line up at the west lot of the Medina High School at 3 p.m., and the parade will start promptly at 4 p.m. We ask that candy not be thrown from the vehicles. Candy may be tossed or handed from those walking in the parade. And we're asking this year for all parade entries to display an American flag to honor our Independence Day, as well as to coming through this COVID pandemic. We do not expect any new restrictions, but if COVID restrictions are added, we will share that with the newspaper and on social media. And the release that the folks signed to be in the parade also include a provision that they will follow whatever the COVID guidelines are on that date. The Medina Community Band is planning to have a July 4th concert at the bandstand area versus the gazebo. This gives them more room to spatially distance. They have not established the time quite yet, and the concert is tentative on them providing or being able to find a rehearsal location. It's also weather dependent because now they don't have the cover that they have with the gazebo. So more details to follow as we get closer to July 4th. And I just wanted to thank again the Medina City voters for passing issue 1 on May 4th. We expect that's going to be certified tomorrow, which is May 25th. And we are in the process of having discussions with the county officials as well as with the municipal court officials and try to resolve this issue that we've been working on for over 2 decades. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Durham. Director of Finance?
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, we've talked a few times about the American Rescue Plan funds. There have been some updates. The feds have dropped some guidance, and we've had some webinars on that, and then now they're dropping changes to their guidance, so that's kind of how it works with the feds. So we'll figure that out as we go along. And then, as Councilman Rose mentioned, the budget software, they have worked through that, and we're kind of working out some kinks, and I think we're going to be ready to move forward and be using that with at least the final section of budgets and have a few examples with this next section. Finally, I'd like to thank you, Mayor, for your words on my father's passing. He was a councilman here for 16 years, and you know, I used to come up to meetings when I was a kid, but thing I want to say, it's kind of like what Councilman Simpson says at the end of the meetings. My dad's kind of motto was, enjoy every day and try to make the world a little better place for you having been here.
Thank you. Mr. Huber, Law Director?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Mr. Worley, Parks and Recreation Director?
Thank you, Mr. President. I got a couple updates. Beginning of last week, we were able to install our permanent vault restroom at Sam Macy Park. This was purchased collaboratively with donations from the Stevenson Foundation as well as the Miracle League of Northeast Ohio. So this permanent restroom is fully ADA accessible and will be a great addition to the park and the Medina Lions Miracle League field. for the children over there. Additionally, we do have one large project that seemed to be getting a lot of inquiry from the community. We're in the process of extending the multipurpose trail on East Reagan Parkway from Larkins Way to North Court Street, utilizing a Clean Ohio Trails grant that we received a little over a year ago. That's underway right now, and looking forward to making that connection to Lake Medina and further connecting the city and township to the county parks. Additionally, some exciting updates. The outdoor pool is going to be opening this Saturday, May 29th, as long as the weather is above 70 degrees. We recently installed our pool boiler, and it's working efficiently. The hours of operation for this year are going to be Monday through Thursday. Will be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the reason why we are closing an hour early is so that we can offer outdoor swimming lessons, and that registration will start on June 1st. In addition to that, we're also offering some programming at the outdoor pool that will take place in the mornings and potentially in the evenings. On Fridays and Saturdays, it'll be open from 11 to 7, including Memorial Day and Labor Day. Season passes are still on sale and can either be purchased at the pool or at the rec center. Another exciting note, with the governor lifting the restrictions on June 2nd, we have prepared and have filled up the splash pads as of last week, and we plan to be fully operational on June 2nd. The hours at Greenwood for the public, since we were closed last year, will be 11 to 8 p.m. At Ray Mellert Park, it'll be 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., and that will be Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. Staff has worked hard to make sure that those are available to be open, and we've taken additional measures to use some CARES Act funding to install touchless sensors, activators, and make it as safe as possible over there. Last item I wanted to note, we just released advertisements for our Party in the Parks program that is sponsored collaboratively with the Cleveland Clinic. We're doing an 8-week series at various parks, utilizing recreation center staff from our summer camp to have free, fun activities. Like I mentioned, 8-week series. Information on that can be found either on our Facebook page or on the Medina Community Recreation Center website. Registration is required. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lastucca, Municipal Court.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's nothing new to report from the court.
Thank you. Mr. Gladys, Building Official.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Mr. Mendel, Planning and Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you. Chief Walter, Fire Department. Fire Chief Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Mr. Patton, City Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to note that our airport detention basin project is out to bid, and we do open bids this Thursday, May 27th.
Thank you. Chief Keeney, Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Medina Police Department is hiring for the position of patrol officers. Interested candidates can find information and apply at www.medinaoh.org/employment. The application deadline is May 26th, and a written test will be held on June 2nd. Successful candidates will move on to a physical fitness test at a later date. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Picoli, Service Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you. We have one confirmation of mayor's appointment. We have the Civil Service Commission, James Monahallen, terms expiring 7/1/21 through 6/30/2027.
I will move to confirm the mayor's appointment, but I did want to add also that Mr. Monholland has served on this Civil Service Commission for many, many years, and I appreciate him doing another 6 years.
Since February 10th of 1993, to be exact.
1993.
I just
And
want to
so
bring that to the council's attention.
Between him and then Mr. Palmquist, who's
Yes,
been
sir.
there 30-some years, and no offense to Mr. Jones, he's just a
No.
rookie, so he
He's
has a
just
lot to
new.
live up to. But I appreciate Mr. Monholland signing up for another 6 years.
And I second that.
Any further discussion on the confirmation of a mayor's appointment? Will clerk please call the roll?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Notices, communications, and petitions, there's none. Unfinished business is none. Introduction of visitors. Members of the public will be permitted the opportunity to speak on any issue or concern which pertains to the city during a portion of the council agenda devoted to introduction of visitors. All comments shall be directed to the chair, and a reasonable time limit of approximately 5 minutes will be imposed. If there's a group, please appoint a spokesperson. Speakers should approach the rear microphone and state their name and address so it can be entered in the minutes. Members of the public will be afforded the opportunity to comment on other portions of the meeting as determined by the chair or by a vote of the majority of council members present. Is there anybody that wishes to address council? Do we have anybody on Facebook or anything? No? Okay. Introduction and considerations of ordinances and resolutions. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings on the following ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance 8221, 8321, 8421, 8521, 8621, Resolution 8721, Ordinance 8821, and 8921.
I will make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings of tonight's ordinances and resolutions.
Second?
Discussion on suspending the rules. Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the motion?
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8221, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of arrangement with the Auditor of State, Keith Faber, for the preparation of the annual audit for the city of Medina for the fiscal year period ending December 31st, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
the emergency clause has been requested. I move to add at this time.
My second includes the emergency clause?
Discussion on the emergency clause and the ordinance. Mr. Durham?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for the state auditors to conduct our audit for the 2020 fiscal year, and the emergency clause is because they're already working on it.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the emergency clause and or the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause?
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Ordinance 8221 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8321, ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept a fee proposal from GPT Group to modify the water line within ODOT State Route 18 corridor project.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion, Mr. Patton?
Thank you, Mr. President. Late last year, our city's water consultant completed a hydraulic analysis of our water system. One of their recommendations in that report was that the city should consider abandoning some of our larger water mains on the east side of our city. They're no longer necessary or pertinent to our system, since we no longer treat water east of the city and pump it back into town. We get our water from Avon Lake via our Litchfield pump station west of town. Concurrently to that, ODOT, as you know, is starting their State Route 18 project, and part of that project was to replace some of these very lines. We're trying to avoid that. It'd be an expensive project that we no longer need. ODOT is willing to allow us to modify their plans at their expense, and that's what this cost is for.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Ordinance 8321 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8421, ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept 2 easements necessary for the North Broadway Bridge replacement project.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Patton?
Thank you, Mr. President. We will be completing a replacement of North Broadway and Spring Grove culverts this summer. As part of that project, we do need to acquire some easements, and these are 2 of them on North Broadway, I believe.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Ordinance 8421 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8521, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for competitive bids and to award a contract to the successful bidder for the North Broadway and Spring Grove culvert replacement project.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Patton?
Thank you, Mr. President. As mentioned previously, this is for our project to replace the 2 culverts, North Broadway and Spring Grove. The estimated cost of the project is $946,000 combined. I would note that $477,979 is being supplied through our Public Works Commission grant.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Ordinance 8521 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8621, ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for competitive bids and award a contract to the successful bidder for the 2021-2022 Equipment and Asphalt General Paving Services Program for the Service Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is our annual asphalt paving program. City's served well by this. We use it with the Parks Department and Engineering and Service as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Ordinance 8621 passes 7-0.
Resolution 8721, a resolution authorizing the application and acceptance of the Probation Community Corrections Act Grant CCA renewal for the period July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2021 for the Medina Municipal Court.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Cindy?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is just a renewal grant for 2 of our probation officers. It ends, I guess, June 30th, and it will continue to 20 to 23 July.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the resolution?
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Resolution 8721 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8821, ordinance authorizing, an ordinance amending Section 3102B6 of the Salaries and Benefits Code of the City of Medina, Ohio relative to the intensive supervision probation employees for the municipal court.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Cindy?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the 2 same probation officers, Angela Kiss and Amy Dar. This is just to bring their increases to the same as all city employees.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Ordinance 8821 passes 7-0.
And ordinance 8921, an ordinance amending ordinance number 21720 passed December 14th, 2020, amendments to the 2021 budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Durham?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is an amendment for one of the court funds that are paid for out of court fees.
Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Heffinger.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Ordinance 8921 passes 7-0.
Council comments. Mr. Simpson?
Thank you, Mr. President. Along with the mayor, I'd like to pass my family and I's deepest sympathy to Keith's family. I first met his dad a few years back when my oldest son was just prior to him being born in Medina Community Hospital. I had the pleasure of being in a Lamaze class with Keith's mom and dad, and his mom was pregnant with Keith at that time, so really makes me feel old. But I loved your dad's sense of humor, his dedication to the city. He will be missed, and I'm sure he's at peace. The second thing I would like to bring up is 2 people for tonight. First of all, Mr. Worley, thank you so much for what you and your staff have done to make the splash pads opening a reality, and Medina pool, the municipal pool opening a reality this year. I mean, it's greatly appreciated. I'm sure the members of our community is going to enjoy both. And as far as our parks, again, they look phenomenal. So hats off to your staff. And to Kimberly Marshall, her report tonight on some of the tax abatements that she presented. Again, such a great job with that department. Other than that, just be kind to one another and enjoy the weather.
Thank you. Any other additional council comments? Mrs. Hazeltine?
Thank you, Mr. President. Firstly, I also wanted to thank Mr. Worley and his staff for prepping the splash pads and getting the pool ready, taking the necessary safety measures to keep the community safe, and so we can utilize those things in our community that I know everybody was looking forward to. Secondly, I would also like to offer my condolences to Mr. Durham on the loss of his father. And thirdly is a little bit of a hot button topic, vaccines. Mask wearing, I just want people to remember that just because someone is wearing a mask does not mean that they have chosen not to get the vaccine or that they are not vaccinated. There are lots of reasons why people still choose to wear a mask. There was an incident over the weekend that prompted me to mention this during council comments. One of my friend's mothers was vaccinated, but she was wearing a mask, and a woman chased her out of the store to tell her what a horrible person she was for not being vaccinated. So I want people to remember that just because they have a mask on, there's many other reasons besides not being vaccinated. They may be a caregiver for someone who's immune compromised, and they might just really be nervous after this rough year. It's been traumatic for everybody. It's normal to feel unsure and uncomfortable. And I just would ask people, like Mr. Simpson always says, just be kind. You don't know what the situation is, why they are masking or not masking. There has been an initiative. Some people are not supporting businesses that have chosen to require the masks. Again, that's a private business, and that's their choice. And again, please remember that there may be different circumstances that you're not aware of, which has prompted them to require masks in their establishment. I would encourage everyone to continue supporting local businesses during this time, regardless of whether they require a mask or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shields?
Thank you, Mr. Coyne. I'm sorry, going to repeat a few things, but they're all very important and obviously on all of our minds. First, I did want to offer Keith, his brother Tom, his mom, my condolences. I didn't know Mr. Durham as long as Denny, but I did get to be in Kiwanis with his dad, and he was just a great community volunteer and a big part of Kiwanis, and I will cherish his calligraphy was amazing. Every document I ever received from Kiwanis that your dad did. I also appreciate, I can't tell you how many times I teased him about when he would come back and drive bus again. So I appreciate his connection to Medina City Schools, and he always put up with me asking him that question and got a kick out of it. But we would have taken him back, because I still have people around town tell me about remembering him as their bus driver years back. So just my condolences to the family. Just thought the world of your dad. I do want to thank Mr. Worley because, from day one, he has promised me that if the restrictions got lifted, he would get those splash pads open. He has worked so hard on the pool and the new heater, and the parks look great, and he did all of this while also doing a phenomenal job with the rec center and turning that around during a very tough time for the rec center. So I can't thank you enough, Mr. Worley, for coming through on all that and all the hours you put in to do this so well. And then the last thing, I just can't let it go without mentioning probably the best thing in my mind the last few days was started on Thursday night with the Career Center graduation at Medina High School, followed by Buckeye's graduation on Friday night, and then 550 Medina grads on Saturday morning. 3 beautiful nights, really great graduation ceremonies, a reminder that things are getting back to normal, and probably no greater thing than to be proud of than our young people who are graduating. And it just worked out so well, and I'm so thankful for the weather being, and obviously we have Medina residents that are at the Career Center, at Buckeye, and Medina High School. So just remember our graduates and give them our congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. President. Keith, you have our deepest sympathies and condolences. I didn't have a lot of contact with your dad, but the funny ones were Saturday mornings over at the hardware store, and when we would be picking on Rick for various and sundry reasons. He always had a sense of humor and always a good jab. So those are the things that I'll remember, and you do have the good memories with him. Next Monday is Memorial Day, and it's a time where we pause and reflect on the sacrifices that were given by our veterans, those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, and it is that sacrifice that allows us to do what we do here today. And don't ever forget that. Keep that always foremost in your memories, and thank a vet when you see them. And Jensen, good job. I'm not going to repeat everything. Thank you.
Mr. Lamb?
Thank you, Mr. President. Keith, I want to also offer my sincere condolences to you and your family about the loss of your father. Your father and I worked together for 8 years here in this building, and when he was on City Council, I got to know him well. We agreed and we disagreed in a real nonpartisan way over issues, and he was a good public servant. He was what communities can always hope to have, is folks like your father who are dedicated to community and are willing to put in the time and effort it takes to make things happen. And that was your dad, both when he and I agreed or disagreed. And one of the fondest memories I really have, other than seeing you here at City Council when you were just about that high with your red hair, was years later, long...
That was a low blow.
Yeah, you were cute. You are cute, Keith. One of my fondest memories, though, years after your dad was no longer on City Council and I wasn't mayor, was when I would see your dad at the band concerts uptown, and we could always chat for a few minutes and maybe have a laugh and just talk. I always appreciated seeing him, you know, afterward, and I'm sure he's in a better place now. So my condolences to you and to your family. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first, I was looking through my notes. I didn't know it was Jansen Worley Day, but maybe it is. I don't know what you did to these people, but evidently you made them happy. And Keith, my condolences go out to you and your family, and your mother, and your father, of course, will be missed by Medina, but not forgotten. I think he made an impression upon Medina, and that'll always be remembered. So we appreciate that, and our condolences. With that said, the meeting is adjourned.
Always make a big puddle and I never finish.